Yo, what is up? So, I wanted to make a video about rejecting modernity, like escaping the matrix of being. By matrix, I mean not like just Andrew Tate's red pill kind of thing, like, oh, um, the real nature of women. I think the matrix goes just beyond modern dating. I think the Matrix goes far beyond the type of bad content that Hollywood throws out there that people are obviously turning away from. Basically just we're seeing the negative effects of the culture that we ourselves have embraced. And I might get a lot of hate for what I'm about to say, but because I consider myself part of the type of person who doesn't live by the typical Twitter trends, I use the internet, don't get me wrong. I'm here obviously making a video, but I'm not at the point where it's consumed every facet of my life, where some people are so taken in that all they know is Discord. All they know is how to not socialize. All they know how to do is, and that's like the funny thing when I go on Discord and have like chats with people. It's funny how that's how they get all their information. And sometimes it's almost like we're hiding from the typical narcissistic social media days. So like overall, no matter what your gender, race, ethnicity, background, hobbies are, the Matrix has a lot of different lines of code in it that can sap you in. But let's say, you wanted to break through the whole college psyop, 9 to 5 psyop. You wanted to start your own hustles, be your own boss, live your own life, like that kind of breaking through the matrix. I think there's a lot of people waking up to that. But I think there comes a super big responsibility that a lot of people who escape the matrix tend to forget. And that's when it kind of starts to become like a bit of a main character syndrome. And you got to think of it like this. When you're pulled from the matrix in the movies, right, there's all those people who live in Zion in the modern day, and they're all fighting the machines. But then you have someone like a Cypher who decides to betray the others because he's not satisfied with how his real world life is. He doesn't like the real world. He doesn't like the reality. He wants to go back in, and he wants to choose the Matrix because, he's going to be a pariah no matter what. He might as well go into the one that makes him comfortable. So it's almost like when you look at Cypher's point of view, you could see, even though you don't agree with his actions, how he came to that conclusion. Like, there's a lot of good video essays on why Cypher did it. But I think when people choose to escape the Matrix, they always tend to assume that they're the chosen ones, that their opinion holds more weight than everybody else's. When I think people who see through the trance and want to look for deeper meaning in life and live in the real world in Zion, right? Those people should be sharing ideas and not so much having a who's the chosen one contest. And that's what I see a lot of in this kind of sphere. Is there's a lot of people who think their word's more important than anyone else, and they are the literal one, the chosen one. They're not just an inhabitant of Zion, but they themselves are Neo. They are the one who's going to take it all down, end the machine war and all that stuff. And it could get a little delusional where they get in their own heads. And I as a person who hangs out with people who see through it and who want to be productive people and want to be in trades and want to not waste their life playing video games 24/7. Even though I do play video games from now, I'm not completely absolved from video games. I still don't think that just because I don't play video games all the time that I'm incapable of fault. I'm very capable of fault. In fact, I can name a couple times this week where life kind of sent me a big old slice of humble pie, where I was like, okay, even though I'm out of this area of consciousness, I still have a few ladders left to climb when it comes to learning. And that's the thing about like life in general is it's just one gigantic learning thing. The second you stop learning in life is the second you lose. That's the second you fall off. That's the second, whether it's trades, skills you want to build, or even life. Like the revelation I'm having that I can completely fall flat on what I feel like I need to do, that I might as well at least take a chance on what I want to. Now, am I the only person who's having this revelation? No. But that's the thing, is I got to stick to my principles. I got to practice what I preach. I might not be the only person seeing it. I know I'm not the only person seeing it. So to act like I deserve it more than any of the other people who see it, one, that isolates me from potential friends, potential communities, and it's not productive for people who want to overcome this social media trance society has in fact, the best way to go over this whole social media trance is to acknowledge it for what it is, let it stay, but you got to separate yourself from it on a healthy way. You could still use it, of course, but if you completely shun it or something like that and overstep, what if you want to use it one day and you're not allowed to because you've been banned because you just had to, own the bots on social media? You just had to because you knew better. That's what I'm talking about. I've seen a lot of people get in that mindset and bring about their own downfall because they still have to have a job. They still got to pay the bills in some aspects as they build their side hustles. They still got to do, your daily routines before you get online and play guitar or start your stream or whatever it is you want to do. And I think that's the big responsibility that comes with it is, we get so entwined with, I'm the chosen one because I see through the matrix, that maybe we think that maybe we're not the chosen one. We're just a person in the real world. Because there's only one chosen one. And when you have a bunch of people, and isn't it tragic that you have a bunch of people escape the matrix and reject modernity only to develop that same narcissism they tried to escape, that same dog-eat-dog world that you just got out of. When the big responsibility is you got to remember why we got away from it. We got to look after our fellow man. We got to look after each other. We got to offer each other positive feedback and positive advice, not you're dumb because you believe in that theory, but I believe in this one, so I'm superior to you. I've seen so much of that where it's hard to get along with most of the people who consider themselves red-pilled. But I usually try not to come off like super angry and passionate in my videos because I try to be a little level-headed, even though there are times where my emotions do get the better of me. But I just feel like this cautionary warning of the main character syndrome that comes from escaping the matrix and rejecting modernity, if we don't keep our heads like up here and we don't keep our heads level and don't keep our feet on the ground and not stay down to earth, then the matrix wins. Because you got to understand the thing about the second Matrix movie that I want to conclude with, where they talk about the prophecy of the chosen one and how it's actually just a cycle. People got prideful of themselves because they escaped the Matrix, that they never thought that they were being had in another way. And that's why I actually think that the sequels are super important, because they have a really good message to it. That just because you escaped one form of control doesn't mean there's another form of control that understands your nature and is ready to use it against you. Peace, and watch yourselves. We're in this together.